Hello, my dearest friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. I suspect that today's video is going to be slightly on the shorter side because I'm only going to discuss about 6 books that I read in the month of December. I'm not including all of my reads of December because most of them were Christmassy themed romances, and I feel like now that Christmas and the holidays overall have passed, not everyone's going to want to hear about Christmassy romances anymore. So I'm just going to focus on the books that I read in December that were not Christmas themed. And I have a couple of interesting reads on here. So it's 6 books. One of them is a romantasy. One of them is one that I cannot categorize. There is one new release. There is one that I've wanted to read for quite some time. There is an absolute favorite of mine on here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive in and tell you all about the books that I managed to finish in December. And the first book that I picked up that is not a Christmassy romance is called On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. This book made its rounds as a kind of a hyped book on Bookstagram and Book Talk, and I was seeing quite a few people picking it up. And I don't know what it was, but I think the fact that someone did mention that this is going to involve dragons and it's kind of paranormal romantasy as there are vampires in the plot, that it kind of got me intrigued. And I got the audiobook through Storytel. And let me tell you, this book was definitely not a favorite of mine. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a debut for this author, and it's actually a series. So this is the first book within a series. And it very much felt like a debut book, like it was over-explaining a lot of things, and just the writing didn't vibe for me. It felt very clunky. And overall, it has a type of plot that has been done over and over, in my opinion, and just didn't do anything exciting for me to want to get excited about. It basically centers on a heroine who enters this academy, and there are these vampires, and she's the only one who is a dragon rider, but dragons are not really present in this book at all. I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, but it's better to know if you're looking forward to any dragon action in this book. There isn't any. And it just felt underwhelming somehow. I just didn't vibe very well with this book. So I gave it 3 stars. And I'm afraid I'm not really intrigued with continuing on with the series, so I don't think that I will. Now, the next book is the one that I really don't know how to categorize, to be quite honest with you. It's such a weird book. And I picked it up because I saw Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life read this book, and she was like, this is one of the weirdest books ever. It's really a page turner, so you definitely want to get to the bottom of what the heck is going on. And there's just really a couple of things in this book that I don't want to spoil that are just really bonkers. So this author really went there. And the book is Blackthorn by J.T. Geisinger. Now, I've read J.T. Geisinger before. I've read her Mafia series, and I really, really enjoyed them. But this one is more so a paranormal, gothic, mystery, romance. There are some kind of really paranormal elements to it, but I don't know how to categorize it, to be quite honest. So I did take the couple of tropes that were mentioned on Goodreads for this book. So we've got a revenge plot, Touch Her When You Die, Shadier Than Shade Hero, Forbidden Romance, Grumpy, Plot Twist Galore, Beauty and the Beast, Enemies to Lovers to Enemies to whatever happens after that. And it has such an atmospheric kind of a setting. And I just don't want to tell you anything about the book. You should just go in blind and experience it so that you can get the most out of it, because the more I tell you about it, the more ludicrous and weird it seems. Well, it has a point of being that, so that you can get to the really twisty turns in the end of the book. I can definitely guarantee you that it has the amazing banter that J.T. Geisinger usually has in her books. So the romance is kind of sizzling as well, and it is kind of a second chance. So there's a lot of goodness to this book. I was really hesitant about what is going to happen when I picked it up, whether I was going to enjoy it or not. But in the end, I gave this one 4 stars. I definitely enjoyed it. And if you like kind of mysterious and very atmospheric and very weird and twisty and kind of taboo romances, then this one might be one that you may enjoy. Now, the next book I've had on my TBR for forever. I haven't read anything by Laura Thalassa until last month, and I really wanted to try out her books, and I've heard so many good things about her Four Horsemen series, which starts with Pestilence, that I wanted to pick up that book and just start on this series so I can see what the hype is about. Now, Pestilence is available through Storytel with a graphic audio production, which I very much appreciated. I love the audiobook production for this one. And it centers on Pestilence, who essentially is bringing the plague to this region, and our heroine wants to stop him. So already at the start of the book, she has a bow and arrow in hand, and she shoots him and she tries to kill him, but obviously he cannot be killed, so he decides he wants to exact his revenge on her, and he takes her with him. And they have this journey that they go on. They have this enemies to lovers relationship going on, and she sees what he is doing, and she tries to understand what he's doing and what his role is within this world that they live in. And he gets to know her and gets to know humanity on a different level than he's known it before, and he starts to develop feelings for her. And that part of the story I definitely enjoyed, but I was waiting for like a shoe to drop. I was waiting for something more to happen. So I didn't give this one 4 stars fully. It's more like a 3.5 star read, but I'm definitely intrigued to continue on in the series and read the next book, which is, I'm not sure, is it Death? Is it? I don't know what the next book is, but I'm going to pick up the next book at a certain point. So this one was definitely an intriguing enough read for me to want to continue on in the series. Now, the next book is by Elsie Silver. I really want to finish her, I don't know what the series is called, but like Wild Love, Wild Eyes, Wild Side, Wild Card series. And I had read Wild Love at the start of 2025, and I read Wild Eyes in December, and I very, very, very much enjoyed it. The book centers on Skylar, who is this singer. She is a pop kind of a singer, so very popular, and she kind of wants to escape her very controlling parents. So she goes to the small town where the hero lives. His name is Weston. He is this rancher, so this cowboy essentially, and he's a single dad. And the meet cute that they have at the start of the book is absolutely hilarious. She has her phone out. She has stopped her car while driving into the small town, and she has seen this bear that she wants to record and put on her live for her fans. But she doesn't realize that it's a grizzly, and he sees her and he's like, oh my God, this woman is going to get herself killed. So he tries to help her out. So that meet cute is absolutely gold. To me, I really laughed out loud within that scene. And they're kind of characters are so much fun because he is a sunshiny character, but he has a lot of depth to him. She's also kind of a sunshiny character, but she has this very growing kind of an insecurity because of the way that she's been treated her whole life, and she has something to prove to everyone. So the two characters, when they get together, they kind of fulfill each other in such a perfect way, and how she also interacts with him and his family is absolutely amazing. And I just overall loved everything about this book, the setting, their relationship, the found family aspect, the songs within the book, everything. I just loved everything about this book. I gave it 5 stars, so I'm definitely continuing on with Wild Side. I think it is the next one. Now, the next book is a new release that came out just recently. It's Bad Bishop by LJ Shen. This is a mafia romance that features the enemies to lovers trope. There is a marriage of convenience. There is a scarred hero, and he has a very big kind of a beef with her family. So essentially, it is intriguing enough, and there are intriguing enough plot points for a mafia romance for me to be intrigued enough about the story. But there were also things that just did not work for me specifically. The heroine in this book, at the start of the book, she's attending this wedding and she has been sheltered her whole life. Her family's pretending like she is somehow, I don't know how to even express it, like she's not smart and like she has some kind of a disability, like a mental disability, so that they leave her alone. And she gets raped at the start of the book. This is not a spoiler. This literally happens, I think, like in the first or the second chapter. And because she gets raped, she falls pregnant, and her family is looking for someone to marry her off to so that it looks like it's a child that is not born out of rape. So this is where the marriage of convenience part comes in. He is a scarred hero, and he's part of the he's part of the Irish mob, and she's part of the Italian families within the mob. And I don't know, just this whole story, it reminds you kind of Beauty and the Beast, but not to the best kind of an extent. I don't know, something was just missing for me with this one. I read other mafia romances in the past couple of months that I enjoyed more than this one. I give this one 3 stars, and yeah, it was all right. It was not a bad mafia romance, but it just wasn't anything that I will remember forever and ever and would want to recommend forever and ever. So it's just an all right read. And now we're moving on to my favorite read of December. And it's not really a surprise to me because I've loved the other books within the series, but this one I think may be my favorite. It's Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. It's part of her Vancouver Storm hockey series, and it's the book that centers on Alexei Volkov, who is one of the defensemen within the hockey team, and the doctor, the team doctor. Her name is Georgia Green. And we've been seeing here and there in the other books how their relationship starts essentially with the fact that they hate each other because Alexei is kind of, I think he's like 30 something, 33, and Georgia has recommended that he retires, and he hates her guts for that. And she had her reasons for recommending his retirement, and she has also kind of recused herself. She doesn't want to be his doctor, so he has taken that personally as well. And at the start of the book, we're figuring out that so they're based in Canada, and he is Russian, and his family has immigrated from Russia and lives within his city as well. But he's in danger of losing his visa, and he is deathly afraid of that because he doesn't want his family to be impacted by that. So he's considering going into territory of the marriage of convenience situation so that he can still get his visa. And Georgia, from her side, she's part of this very prominent family, but she's never really had a very good relationship with them. But she does have an inheritance that she can take if she marries as well. And they strike up a deal to get married for convenience purposes while they absolutely hate each other. So this is definitely a hate to love kind of a relationship with forced proximity, because they start to live together. And also there is this kind of a situation that I just ate up within this book. There is this gesture that Alexei makes already from the start of their relationship. He does it first with very different kinds of intentions. I don't want to spoil it, so you can pick it up and enjoy it for yourself, but he does it with one kind of reasoning at the start of the relationship, but as their relationship moves into something more genuine and more romantic, that gesture starts to have all the right kinds of meanings. And I absolutely ate it up. The banter between the two, the chemistry between the two is absolutely off the charts amazing. And I cannot wait for the next book, which will come out, I think, in about a month's time. That one is going to be called Wildcard, and I'm just so much looking forward to it. This whole series, I've loved every single book more and more and more. And like I mentioned, this one seems like it's my favorite. I don't know. I'm very kind of on the fence about the Fake Out and this one, but yeah, this one was an absolute favorite. And I'm very sorry that I couldn't include it in my favorites of the year, but I just finished this one like on the 30th or 31st of December. So I'm just going to include it in my 2026 favorites because this one definitely is a favorite of the year already. So these were all the reads that I managed to finish in the month of December. I'm very much looking forward to discovering more amazing books that I'm going to get to love in the new year. So please recommend all of your 5-star reads lately. And I'm going to be on the lookout to discover more new favorites as well. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care and bye.